when I was 7 or 8 years old, and and for I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies.
How can other people tap dance to work? What's the secret of that?
You find your passion. You find your passion. I was very, very lucky to find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old, and fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing else. One son loves music like everything else, and all 3 of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it, and you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell college students that come out, I say, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it. The most important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be right about thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a couple. I don't have to understand all kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand. But there's thousands of opportunities there. I did understand the Bank of America, and I'm able to do that. If you think you're going to be a lot happier if you've got 2X instead of X, you're probably making a mistake. I mean, you ought to find something you like that works with that, and you'll get in trouble if you think.
Yes. Looking at the S&P 500 here. This is an ETF, makes up 500 largest companies in America. If you were to own most, if you're an index-only investor, if you're in a S&P 500 fund, it's this right here. This is the benchmark in which all investments are based. Camera on. Loud and clear. Thank you, sir. And man, just listening to, what's up, Instagram? Just listening to an influencer. Hold on, man. I got to close it. I got some short-term trades going right here. And I should have taken it off before I came on, and I'm greedy, so I didn't. I don't mean to be trading while I'm talking to you. But this is the S&P 500. And right there is what I call a stage 1. Could be a 2. And I'm going to explain to you what this means. But anyway, I'm listening. Look at this, guys. I'm listening to this influencer today, and they were like anti-influencers. Like they were mad. It's like some dudes that lost money in the last crash. And as you approach this right here, stocks, I would encourage you not to think of this. For me, it's just something I do all the time, man. I don't want to do this shit for a living. I want to do it because I'm awake. Let's make a living 6 ways if we can. And I think what was their major complaint is there were people, I guess, during the free money days, they were just going to quit their job, trade the stock market, and that was like it. Not many people do that, man. Most of the people you see doing that are doing something else for a living because of the unpredictability. You can have periods of time where you make no money. And you have to be able to survive. And you have to learn from your mistakes. And you got to conquer your own mind, man. And there is no shortcut. This right here, price is pushing above this green line. Look how this green line is going sideways. That's 20-day moving average. Typically, that's a bullish sign. It's when you're at the bar and she kind of winks at you, that's what this is. And you're like, what's up? What are you doing? In all seriousness, this is the NASDAQ on a 1-minute chart. In the very front of the money flow, it says the money flow system is fractal. A fractal is never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Now, when I talk about ongoing feedback loop, that's this. See these little, right there, see it opened? And that's where it closed, the tick right now. You guys probably, yep, look. You guys mostly use candlesticks, I know. These are bars, same thing. I'd come over here and change it if it made you feel better. Do you feel better now? You feel better, son? Now we got candles. And that candle you see right there is very bullish. It's moving up. And you see the price is above that these little dots. These are moving averages. Nothing magical about them. People try to make magical shit about, when the crossover comes. And the crossover is a signal, but in and of itself, I mean, it's just the randomness of price moving around, man. And so the shorter your time frame, the faster your reaction has to be.
Is don't lose. And the second rule of investment is don't forget the first rule, and that's all the rules there are. I mean, that if you buy things for far below what they're worth, and you buy a group of them, you basically don't lose money.
Biggest mistakes people make when investing?
Well, they try to, they just don't realize that all you have to do is just buy a cross-section of America and then never listen to people like me or read the papers or do anything subsequently. They think that because you can trade, you should trade. You buy a farm, you buy an apartment house, you can't resell it tomorrow. The cost of moving around. Now you get something handed to you, liquidity, which is instant. You can sell, and the cost of doing it are pennies, compared to other kinds of investment activity. So because they can so easily move around, they do move around, and moving around is not smarter than investing.
Warren, what do you consider the most important quality for an investment manager?
It's a temperamental quality, not an intellectual quality. You don't need tons of IQ in this business. I mean, you have to have enough IQ to get from here to downtown Omaha, but you do not have to be able to play three-dimensional chess or be in the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd.
You see what's happening here, right? So this up here is called the RSI. Now, we just read that about fractal nature. Think about this with the stock. Oh, 69. You guys are perverts, man. I'm talking about the RSI being 69. Is this, so let's say you're out and you meet a girl. She has that tattooed on her neck. Good sign or bad sign? Or a guy? Ladies. Good sign or bad sign? That's a sign. Doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad guy, but it's an unusual thing to have tattooed on your neck. So maybe you don't go on a date with them. I don't know. I don't know you. So we have a pivot point being built. This is live time, by the way. It's fractal nature. So right now, that's the highest high. He said, great sign. Stay with me, man. RSI just went extreme. Now, inside of the money flow, we got a stage 3, baby. Come on. Distribution is possibly going right now. Now, if you ever meet someone and they got distribution tattooed on their neck, you need to talk to them. Look, bam, went red. Oh, no. Now we're in live time, so remember, it's fractal. Pretend like these are one day.
Best investment you can make is in yourself. That, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come, they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas, all that. If they just learn to communicate better, both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. You know, I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, you know, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, you know, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. It's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Are you comfortable today with what you're giving? I mean, does it feel,
It's exactly what I
does
wanted
it
to
feel
do.
like the right thing to be
It's the
doing
right,
right
it's
now?
the right thing because it's going to people who believe, as the Gates, for example, that every life is of equal value. I mean, the truth is, I've got a lot of.
All right, man. But as we look, I'm watching this. Well, let's say I'm an investor in Ford. Man, I heard these guys are. There is a movement afoot to blame influencers for life. Somebody mentions them. Let me let you know something, guys. It takes a long time to master shit. If you start a business, good chance you're going to go out of business. So you could get your ass up and start another business, or go, you know, whatever. Like, oh, we broke out of it, so we got to move this now, right? You weren't busy, were you? Now we're watching the money flow in real time. Waiting on this. We keep pushing. Higher this pushes, the more money I'm making, right? If I'm long this, which I am, and I'm watching this, and I'm using these just to help me, man. These aren't magical. There's nothing magical about those. And there's a little bit of intuition. But if I can do this, if I'm doing this, let's say I want to invest, buy and hold. You know what this is? This is Wells Fargo. That's the neck tattoo. Now this is not a bottom yet. Why? Keep staying underneath that 5-day. So I'm waiting for these things to line up, just like we did over here and here. And now this is, if I was watching this, I'd be waiting for this. Well, what's the reverse of that? This is on a daily chart, by the way. This is daily. This is real time. Well, now what am I saying? Here's what I'm saying. Something like this is going to happen. It's going to go down, and then it's going to stop. It's going to put in the lowest low, just like it put in the highest high. It's going to do it again. Now here we get, this is pretty choppy, right? That gets a little tricky. And that's because it's not perfect. And so as I'm watching this pattern, you know, do it. I'm about to lose money talking to you guys. Why do you guys let me do this, man? Come on, man. You got... Stop being a degenerate. So as I'm watching this...
Castle that has a moat around it.
So what's the secret?
The secret is to find what you love to do. I mean, I tell the students, you know, look for the job that you would take if you didn't need a job. I mean, that's that simple. And I was lucky enough to find it very early in life. And then the second thing is to have people around you that make you feel good every day and make you a better person than you otherwise would be. I have more fun doing this than anything else I can think of in the world. And I've seen a lot of other things you could do in the world. If you asked me to trade away a very significant percentage of my net worth, either for some extra years or being able to do during those years what I want to do, I'd do it in a second.
All right, man. KRE, this is one we were looking at. Stay with me on that.
I just read and read and
This is KRE. This is the regional banking ETF. And I was saying last week, if I'm an investor, I believe the regional banks are going to go bankrupt and the whole country's going into crisis and the Antichrist is returning or something. Now, if you're in that group, then you probably don't want to do this. So you see what's happening here, right? Oh, hold on. It's already come down. Now look at that. Look what just happened. Now we're in real time, man. Stay with me, man. But Gerald, those mean old influencers are getting people to take risk in life. I was listening to a group of guys they were blaming influencers for their losses during COVID and the growth crash. And I'm thinking, hey, dipshits, a lot of those stocks have come back. And if you traded them and added to them, you could have built your positions. So look what we got. Got a little crossover, right? Now, is that magical? No. But if I'm watching this, that's this right here. We're getting a convergence, really a divergence, not divergence, convergence of price and average as it's starting to break down on this stage 3. Let's see. It might not. Maybe it goes back up into the box. So if we're looking at this, now I got out. I took my money and got aside.
we read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies.
How can other people tap dance to work? What's the secret of that?
You find your passion. You find your passion. I was very, very lucky to find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old, and fortunately, my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing else. One son loves music like everything else, and all 3 of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it, and you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell college students that come out, I say, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it. The most important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be right about thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a couple. I don't have to understand all kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand. But there's thousands of opportunities there. I did understand the Bank of America, and I'll be...
Hear what Big Daddy's saying there? You don't have to understand a lot, man. And what those dudes were complaining about is called life. They're all in their 30s and 40s, and it's fucking hard. And you have to practice, and it's going to take you years to do shit. So these guys were crying that they weren't trading for a living. And it's like, yeah, you were going to do that in a fucking summer. It's probably going to take you 4, 5, 6 years. And here's what you should be thinking. You shouldn't be thinking about doing that. You should be trading while you're doing something else, while you're investing, while you're doing something else. So I don't even understand what the conversation was about, man. A lot of crying, though. And it's like, okay, you had some growth stocks come down. You could trade around them. You could trade around them. So right now, if you're looking at this and you were a child, and I said, find the lowest low. Yeah, I'm going to get some of those guys on my podcast because I'm going to be honest, man. To me, you sound pretty whiny, bro. Those mean old influencers got me to day trade and I lost all my money. It's like, yeah, because you suck and don't know how to day trade. And it takes like 5 fucking years to get good at something. I wanted to be a lawyer. And by one Christmas, I was like, it's like, dude, come on. There's a section in the Bible. Oh shit, I always forget that I don't have it on here. So, there's a section in the Bible. Let's go to the 1 minute. Let's check out Ford real quick. I can already tell I'm losing some of you. They're like, oh no, he said Bible. There he goes with the Bible again. This is Ford. And Ford's been pretty good at money flowing. You're like, what do you mean? Meaning it does this little pattern of sideways. I want you on my podcast. Some shit. All you got to do is ask, bro. Don't send me no prep bullshit either. Sometimes they get me on there. Hey, Gerald, we're going to send you over a questionnaire. I'm like, for what? For the podcast. If you could fill out the form. No. You ever seen that Eazy-E song? And he's like, have you ever committed a crime? Remember that song? Like an armed robbery or a murder? Yes. So we're looking at Ford. And if you don't like Eazy-E, something's wrong with you, bro. Seriously. You got a lot of dudes my age, they don't like Eazy-E. They don't like fucking Slayer. What are you listening to, bro? I'm trying to rejoin Discord. You probably got booted out, man. Probably didn't pay your bills on time. Get a lot of guys in money flow be like, oh, fuck it, I'll pay it a month late. Gerald can wait. I'll go buy my girlfriend a sandwich, but I'm definitely not going to pay on time where I can just keep up with stocks every day. What value is that when you can just buy tennis shoes instead? So this is Ford. It's below the 200-day moving average. We know that. If you know me, if you're a friend of mine, that's an automatic signal. It says this thing's probably undervalued. We can confirm that. Stay with me today, man. I'm feeling froggy. Morning Star. I'm glad I don't have my camera on. I don't think my hair is very good today. Let's check Ford. We're going to get back to that banking trade. Dude, am I not logged in? Come on, man. You've got to be kidding me.
That age, I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty or pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy, and I've seen some very, very wealthy people that they give testimonial winners to and everything. Nobody loves them, you know.
But the real test of whether you're investing from a value standpoint or not is whether you care whether the stock market is open tomorrow. If you're making a good investment in a security, it shouldn't bother you if they close down the stock market for 5 years. All the ticker tells me is the price. And I can look at the price occasionally to see whether the price is outlandishly cheap or outlandishly high. But prices don't tell me anything about a business. Business figures themselves tell me something about a business, but the price of a stock doesn't tell me anything about a business. I would rather value a stock or a business first and not even know the price, so that I'm not influenced by the price in establishing my valuation, and then look at the price later to see whether it's way out of line with what my value is.
What are, say, 3 pieces of advice you would give to people who are looking to succeed in business?
Well, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, it's like winking at a girl.
Uncle Warren just said there that communication with other people is probably one of the best assets that you can have. In other words, what I always tell you, that other people have your money. All the money you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks, credit cards, purses of other people. You're like, no, I put my social on private, so I don't have to talk to anybody, Gerald. I like being broke. Let's see. I don't want anyone communicating with me. Wow. I don't want anyone communicating with me. What do we see? Oh. There goes our stage 4. I'm afraid people might talk to me. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going down. Where's the RSI? 44. So if this was a daily chart, each day I'd be getting 1 bar. We had that guy on YouTube. Man, are we still on YouTube? Yeah. I get that guy all the time. I don't have time to trade, Gerald. Let's see. I work a full-time job and have 2 children and a lot of responsibility. And I put God first in my life. I'm like, okay, John, if this was Tuesday and that was Monday, that is a stage 4 break. And then the next, you could just call in your order, bro. But Gerald, remember that guy the other day? And then back to these guys that were crying about the, everything I learned from some dude hustling, selling a book. I don't even know if the dudes did it. Probably not most of the time. That's not the point. But they were making it sound like, oh, don't try to do things that you might fail at because you'll feel bad. It's like, okay, you guys own some stocks and then the market crashed. A lot of adults have been through that, guys. But I don't like the way it felt. It's like, okay, Warren Buffett didn't like it either. But he's been through a bunch of them, man. You think he got out? Is that what you guys think he did? Let's see. See it coming down? Price is below the 5. But Gerald, he told me he made 10,000% every day, day trading options. Look at this stage 4 happening. You're witnessing the birth of a baby. Man, I'm glad you're my friend. Glad you guys are here. I see you, Paul. What's up, man? We're just having a moment here together. Maybe you got somewhere else to be. You got higher important. Gerald, I need to stack these boxes. Can't pay attention to trading. I got to stack some boxes. Oh, is that the bottom? Uncle Warren says you got to develop some communication skills. In other words, you need to get some selling skills, even if you're just selling yourself. Now let me show you something. Oh, where did I move it to? This is my version of the Science of Getting Rich. In mine, I have pictures of myself. If you ever get the one from my Instagram, but I've been adding shit to it. The copyright's out, so here's what I wanted to show you. Accumulating $1 million is just math. It's available to anyone with money and time. $5,000 invested in a typical S&P index fund and adding $500 a month, which I would call kind of on the baby side. Little babies. Oh, I'm gonna put my little 500 in. And I've spent more than that drinking. Man, I spent more than that at a strip club. You ain't ever dropped $500 it? You ain't ever partied with me then. Let's see. I tell them, man, don't come, man. You guys who come here, be falling asleep on Bourbon Street, trying to keep up. All right, so price is coming down. We're above the 5 now, and we got a pivot point. And we're about to break out. Now, let's back this up. Where are we at on the 3-minute chart? It's above the 20. So we got time continuum, right? Moving up. Oh, look at that. What do you think? If this was a daily chart, what does that look like to you, man? Are we about to have a moment together? Wish I could whisper. Uh-oh. It's not happening. Pretend like these are daily bars. But Gerald, how do you learn to trade? I'm so busy. Doesn't this happen on a daily where price rejects it? So if you were an investor, is that a good deal? You're like, nah, it's actually been down here. Oh, look, it's going back down there again. This breakout was rejected, right? What is that? Look at that. So if this is a daily chart, daily, and you're an investor and you own this, if you're looking at this, you're like, it's holding the anchor point. So if I'm looking at this, coming down, I'm really trying to catch that over there, right? But as an investor, I'm going to go do some research called fundamental analysis. Yes, I'm going to go read. But the guy said I didn't have to read. I could just trade options and magic money would appear. And I wouldn't need to put in any work or effort for years and years. I would only need 30 days. You're going to lose 25 pounds in 30 days. Or you could take your fat ass to the gym every day for the rest of your life. There's that plan. Here's a plan for you. You keep trading. Man, those guys, I'm going to have to play this for... 2 of them, I kind of like them. They're going to stop being my friend because I'm going to play their shit on my story. I want you to listen to how whiny it sounds. It's like, bro, you're a grown man. A fucking YouTuber is not responsible for anything you do. You are responsible for what you do, or what you buy, or what you click. It is not Yogi Bear's fault, man. Now, we could blame your mama a little bit. If we're just looking to blame somebody, could blame your daddy. Let's see. You see what we're seeing, huh? Now we're pretending these are dailies. And look, RSI's not coming in. Uh-oh. What's up, man? We're breaking out again. Oh. You see it?
the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. Because this is not a business where you take polls, it's a business where you think. And Ben Graham would say that you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people agree with you. And you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people disagree with you. You're right because your facts and your reasoning are right.
I've said many times that if you get to be 65 or 70 and later, and the people that you want to have love you actually do love you, you're a success. I've never seen anybody that reaches that age. I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty or pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, if they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy. And I've seen some very, very wealthy people, but you can testimonial winners too. And
Come on, man. Are we having a stage 2 breakout moment here? We're pretending these are daily bars, by the way. Chapter 4 of The Science of Getting Rich. If you go to my podcast, if your brain can handle it. Thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from formless substance. The stuff from which all things are made is the substance which thinks, and a thought of form in this substance produces the form. That's just a fancy way of saying you got to think shit up, man. Oh, didn't quite happen there, did it? And that's the reality of trading. Even on a daily chart, on a weekly, any sort of strategy you're trading, any sort of gimmick, any sort of Elliott waves, or is that when you got to step in and do it in real life, it's easy to look at a chart from the past and go, yeah, there's a breakout, runs up. It's not as easy in real time. And that's the same with life, man. Right? Looks easy on paper. Real life, it's harder, man. You get smacked a lot. That's why my last ebook was How to Be 10 Foot Tall and Bulletproof. Man says if price is choppy, above and below the 20 is still stage 2. Yeah. So when looking at that, when you get in those gray areas, see, we're kind of getting a gray area. It's trying to break, right? So we're talking about gray areas. These transition periods can be gray areas. And in the midst of a transition, it can almost stop money flowing. You know, it's moving, but it's just chopping you. And if you're trying to trade it super tight, you know, you're going to get eaten. The faster you can see it, the better. And that's the thing about markets and everything. The randomness to price. At any given moment, it's just random. But as investors, so if a guy's trying to trade it purely like that, it's more to it than just this. You know, there's going to be sizing. I mean, there's going to be more to it than all of that. What your goals are, how fast you can spot it, how quick are you. But this fractal pattern is plain, like, let's look at Wells Fargo. These long sweeping stage 4s, long running up stage 2s, big down stage 4s. So whether you're an investor, so if I'm an investor, all I care about is this right here, man. You know, that's it, man.
you get exactly one mind and one body in this world, and can't start taking care of it when you're 50. By that time, you're a little rusted out if you haven't done anything. So you should really make sure that you just remember that you just got one mind and body to get through life with. And
What does make Warren Buffett happy?
I just have a lot of fun doing my job. I mean, I can do anything I want, basically, as long as it doesn't involve athletic ability or anything like that. But if it's something I can buy, I can buy anything, basically. I've been on 400-foot yachts, and I've lived the life a little bit with people that have 10 homes and everything. And I live in the same house I bought in 1958. And if I could spend $100 million on a house and make me a lot happier, I'd do it. But for me, that's the happiest house in the world. And it's because it's got memories and people come back and all that sort of thing. So I am doing what I love to do with people I love. And it doesn't get any better than that, Judy. But I should be. I mean, why in the hell would I be working at 86 at something that I don't like or with people I don't like? The most important thing is really who you associate with. You want to associate with people that are better than you are. I mean, basically, you'll go in the direction of the people that you associate with, and you want to have the right heroes. You want people, somebody.
Yeah, man, right. That right there is good. Got to have the right heroes. Got to put your mind on different things. I do that campfire real estate thing with those guys, and man, those guys are all doing real estate in a bigger way than I'm doing it. And I might be doing stocks in a bigger way than you doing it. Well, and you can't do everything. So we're back to this daily chart in Wells Fargo. This bitch ain't moved since we've been on here. Look at it, just sitting there. 36.21. Refresh. 36.24. Bam. We hit our first target. Target alert. Boop. There you go. Excuse me. While I kiss the sky. Purple haze. All right. Now, you should keep going, hit that RSI up there. I don't know. That's my plan.
The size of a baseball. And he says, if I only swing at pitches in my sweet zone, which he shows there, and he has what his batting average would be, which is 400.
Now, over here I said it's just math. If you invested $5,000 in the S&P 500 fund, adding $500 a month, Gerald, I'm going in big. For 30 years, guys, when I was broke, I was putting in $5,000 a month. Results in $938,603. And I think I did it at 10%. And this is you putting in $185,000. God damn, I put that in one house. So, like this plan here, come on, man. Let's check back in. Where are we at? We're waiting on this RSI. And we're going to ring the register a little more. So I've started taking this down. And that's what I would be doing if I was swing trading, baby. If I'm swing trading, and let's look at one in real time that I'm doing on a daily time frame. So that even you, John, from YouTube, who doesn't have time to trade because it's God, family, and country, Gerald, and I just don't have time. And I said, well, do you have 30 seconds, Jim? Yes, Gerald, I could spare 30 seconds. Cool. Let me show you something, man. And then there's my anchor, and there's my stop. But real quick, let's get back to the TQ on the 1 minute chart. There's my anchor. There's my anchor. There's my thing. Look, it tried to break. It came back, and then it broke. But where would you ever see that at? Had a break, came back, broke out on a daily chart. Google. Yeah, let's save it. Oh, that looks familiar. Let's see. Bam! Anywhere we talked about this, we pulled this back because it's such a wide spread for this stage 3 box. Did I just go over your head? Remember, we were building that stage 3 in real time. Now, I've said stay with me. We would have a moment, man. We're sharing a moment, man. This is like we're on a date. Let's see. Oh my God, Gerald, we just hit the 70 RSI as you said might happen. Let's see. It's almost like you're an oracle. Oh my God. It's like you're a fortune teller. So, where's the highest high right now? I feel like we've had an experience today that some people haven't had with me. Oh man, come on. Are you messing with me? They're trying to throttle me. Imagine if you were sitting right here. Look at the money go. That's called the money flow, baby. Stage 2 breakout. Better to ask somebody. In real time, just like this, Gerald. But I don't have time to trade. But Jim, do you got 30 seconds, sir? Yeah, then you can trade. You're just too stupid to do it. So, bam, we're hitting it. Now, what do I expect? My little stage 3 is going to come in. I need to get down and dirty and get this money and get out. Right? That's my first sign that the girl's got neck tattoos. Hey, let it roll. We'll just drip out. If he wants to go like that, we'll do it like that, man. What's up, Ashton? Ashton's scared to come drink with me, too. They're scared, too, bro. Don't worry. Everybody here's scared. So what's going here? We're seeing, we got our, there it is. We hit our highest high. Bam. Now we could go through this experience like we did over here again if you want. We're going to get our hands on the trigger. I'm going to get out of this now. But if this is a daily chart, fractals never ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns.
Best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, that, for example, communication skills. I tell those students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas, all that. If they just learn to communicate better, both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. You know, I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, you know, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, you know, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. It's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Are you comfortable today with what you're giving? I mean, does it feel,
It's exactly what I want
does
to do.
it feel like the right thing to be
It's the
doing
right,
right
it's
now?
the right thing because it's going to people who believe, as Gates, for example, that every life is of equal value. I mean, the truth is, I've got a lot of wealth, little pieces of paper, with Berkshire Hathaway on it. They're claim checks on all kinds of goods and services in the world. They can buy anything. I can buy 400-foot yachts and have 20 homes and all that. I wouldn't be happier, but they could buy anything.
You wouldn't be happier. Now, those guys that I heard on the podcast, they weren't very happy. They felt like the mean old influencer had influenced them to do bad things. Let's see. So whether I'm looking at that on 1 minute or I'm looking at that on a daily, I watched a Tom Brady commercial and I went all in on crypto. Let's see. Let's check oil. Now, if you understand the money flow, what do you see in with oil, man? Let me give you a minute.
The only car you get the rest of your life, you take care of it like you can't believe it. And you scratch it, fix that moment, you read the owner's manual, you keep a garage and do all these things. And you get exactly one mind and one body in this world. And you can't start taking care of it when you're 50. By that time, you'll have rusted out if you haven't done anything. So you should really make sure that you just remember that you just got one mind and body to get through life with. And
What does make Warren Buffett happy?
I just have a lot of fun doing my job. I mean, I can do anything I want, basically, as long as it doesn't involve athletic ability or anything like that. But if it's something I can buy anything, basically. I've been on 400-foot yachts, and I've lived the life a little bit with people that have 10 homes and everything. And I live in the same house I bought in 1958. And if I could spend $100 million on a house and make me a lot happier, I'd do it. But for me, that's the happiest house in the world. And it's because it's got memories and people come back and all that sort of thing. So I am doing what I love to do with people I love.
Doing what you love to do. See, those dudes on the podcast that were all angry about trading, and it was kind of like they were angry at the whole community. Discord groups are not good. No, you're just dumb. There's that, sir. Those things don't help you. That's complete bullshit. Let's see. Yesterday morning, I hit my Discord. No, 2 days ago. Immediately, first thing I get is this. Are they throttling me again? Whole bunch of people letting me know. I bet every one of those dudes on that video podcast that were like, those evil influencers. Did any of your friends send you? Did your mama send you and go, hey, Tesla's break? Did your mama let you know that Tesla's breaking out? Or was it Uncle Daddy? Who told you? Well, a bunch of my friends told me. And they're not influencers. They're just people in a Discord group. And they all let me know. Now, his wife's in a gardening club. And somehow that's good. But the Discord for stocks is evil. So oil is in a stage 1. You hear how stupid what I just said. My wife is in a gardening club, but a stock Discord group is evil. Who would want everyone in the world telling them that Tesla's breaking out? So those same people, they were like, as a group, hundreds, hey, Tesla's breaking out. You don't want to be in that Discord group. They will influence you to buy things. And then it goes up. Now, whether you were in it or not, if you read my book, you know what I do when I see this. And again, depends on my time frame. Right? I like to buy down here, and I like to sell up here. Now, that's easy to say on a chart. Let's go back in real time. We are ripping higher. I'm going to drop that. That's a 3-minute. But look, time continuum. A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. Scales, not fish scales, dude. Look, 1 minute. It's going up. Stage 2 breakout. We did it right here. We had a moment, man. Unless you were like, oh, I got to go stack boxes, Gerald. Here. Don't encourage young men to trade. They might not win. We want to have a whole generation that always wins. Okay, guys. Now watch. That's all I hear when I hear that shit, man. But 2 of them are my friends. They're going to get mad at me now. Don't make fun of us, Gerald. Well, should have bought Bitcoin, dummy. Look. Same thing, right? This is real time. Remember we hit the RSI? Now we're coming back up. If we hit it again, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take down the trade some more. Now I done wrote over so much shit that I can't even see if it's there. Oh, we're at 25.75. He let you know a little secret to life, man. Man, I forgot I'm even on YouTube. He let you know a secret to life. You're going to lose a lot, man. Better get used to it. The one thing most trader, are we having another stage 3 together? I feel like we're closer. Don't send me any inappropriate pictures either. Unless they're good. I'm kidding, man. Stop. You see what's happening here, right? You're like, but past performance is not indicative of future results, Gerald. Our young men don't like to lose. Let's see. If this was to pull back, and I'm a money flow guy, I'm just assuming it's going to come back down into here. Now, I don't know that, right? So just like we had this moment together where we did the stage 4 together, you remember that? Remember that? That was great, man. I'm glad you guys got to do that with me. I need to clean this up. Hold on. Are we having another stage 3 moment together, guys? I feel like we haven't been together long enough. Let's get this.
Trade, you should trade.
Let's take in this moment.
You buy an apartment house, you can't resell it tomorrow. Now you get something handed to you, liquidity, which is instant. You can sell, the cost of doing it are pennies, compared to other kinds of investment activity. So because they can so easily move around, they do move around, and moving around is not smarter than investing.
Warren, what do you consider the most important quality for an investment manager?
It's a temperamental quality, not an intellectual quality. You don't need tons of IQ in this business. I mean, you have to have enough IQ to get from here to downtown Omaha, but you do not have to be able to play three-dimensional chess or be in the top leagues in terms of bridge playing or something of the sort. You need a stable personality. You need a temperament that neither derives great pleasure from being with the crowd or against the crowd. Because this is not a business where you take polls, it's a business where you think. And Ben Graham would say that you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people agree with you. And you're not right or wrong because 1,000 people disagree with you. You're right because your facts and your reasoning are right.
I've said many times that if you get to be 65 or 70 and later, and the people that you want to have love you actually do love you, you're a success. I've never seen anybody that reaches that age. I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that's in extreme poverty or pain or something, but I've never seen anybody that, if they have a lot of people that love them, that is other than happy. And I've seen some very, very wealthy people that turn everything. Nobody loves them.
The real test of whether you're investing from a value standpoint or not is whether you care whether the stock market is open tomorrow. If you're making a good investment in a security, it shouldn't bother you if they close down the stock market for 5 years. All the ticker tells me is the price. And I can look at the price occasionally to see whether the price is outlandishly cheap or outlandishly high. But prices don't tell me anything about a business. Business figures themselves tell me something about a business, but the price of a stock doesn't tell me anything about a business. I would rather value a stock or a business first and not even know the price, so that I'm not influenced by the price in establishing my valuation, and then look at the price later to see whether it's way out of line with what my value is.
What are, say, 3 pieces of advice you would give to people who are looking to succeed in business?
Well, by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, for example, communication skills. I tell the students that come.
Warren Buffett says, by far the best thing you could do is invest in yourself. You can actually only invest in 4 things at all. Number 1 being yourself, skills, your health, going to the gym, nice clothes, things like that. That is investing in you, especially skills. Should always be working on learning something in all the time, right? I'm out of that, by the way. Can't focus on it and talk to you guys. So I just got out of that. You're like, were you profitable? Yep. Could have not been. It's just random movement of price, man. And it's not a crossover. It's not one indicator. It's not one anything. There's lots of pressures, and some of it is intuitiveness. Some of it is having a feel for it. There's some of that. Everybody wants to make it as simple as one thing. It's not as simple as one thing. Look at UTSL. Yesterday, price came down. I know I had people getting out of it. They're like, well, why didn't you get out? because I got things called intuition, experience. That was a reaction to Fed. I was pretty positive this thing was jumping back. It just didn't make sense that it wouldn't. And you're like, yeah, but what about the green line? It's like, yeah, well, there's more to life than a green line. You can bring logic and reasoning and experience to things. And if you played football for a while, sometimes you see the same lineup across the aisle and you call fucking audible because you played the game a little bit. Look, we're ripping up, man. Look at that. Rally on, maybe. Right? And we know that a 3 can become a 1. So let's use our brain, man. Remember, we're pretending this is daily. You're getting home from work, and there's 1 bar there. And now look, we're on the move, right? We're back in the box. Now, here's the thing about back in the box. It's the most bullish thing in the money flow. I don't know that was broken, though. I got out because I was talking to you guys. Do you need something? Hello? No. Oh, sorry. Thought you were talking to me. No, I thought you were tapping. Knock, knock. Oh, let me pull this down. Look at that. We broke out, man. But Gerald, why did you buy it again? Because it came back fast. So it rejected this stage 4 decline. If we were on a daily chart and the stock goes to break and then turns right around and goes back up, you're going to hear me say what? Oh, it's back in the box. And we kind of saw that over here with Tesla coming down and it's trying to stay up in that breakout zone. Still could come down. These crossover points are points of contention. It's not smooth sailing. Look, breaks out here, down, down. You have a little moments of confusion, man. It's never just straight up, man. Oh, we're not going to get out of the box. Look, we're coming back in. That's not good. And if these are one day and you get home from work and you're looking at this and you're like, man, there's plenty. That's how a lot of people used to trade, man. Just like that. Uh-oh. So rejected the breakdown and rejected the breakout. And so if you back it up, look what's happening on the higher. You had a little box there, right? Could come down. Stage 4 decline. That's how fast it turns, man. Can feel like that on a daily chart too. And if you got a lot of stuff going, you start to feel anxiety. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I feel misled. And a lot of that, if you were to go to the daily, watch this. This is what happened today. Nothing. Look, here to here. But inside of that, people could go broke. You could lose $1 billion inside of that movement right in there. And then old Jim, but Gerald, I don't have time to trade. I work on busy job and God first and family. And it's like, well, Jim, that price comes up the green line. Here's what you do. Try this. I mean, when you see that turn, it's your momentum, man. And that same thing happened over here. Now, there's a lot from here to here. And there'd be a lot from here to here. Maybe it goes up into here. I don't know. Maybe it stalls out at previous high and goes back down. I don't know. I'm just playing this pattern. And once you figure out your time, let's get back. Where were we? Oh, this fighting. The tension. I didn't wake you up, did I? I'm teasing. You see what we got going on here? Now, this is a daily chart. I like it. He's going higher, man. Let's see. Oh, a lot like life, right? Sitting here waiting. Back to Big Daddy for a second.
business, and they're running all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. You know, I mean, if you can't communicate, somebody says, you know, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, you know, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. It's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you.
Are you comfortable today with what you're giving? I mean, does it feel,
It's exactly what I
does
wanted
it feel
to do.
like the right thing to be
It's the
doing
right,
right
it's
now?
the right thing because it's going to people who believe, as the Gates, for example, that every life is of equal value. I mean, the truth is, I've got a lot of wealth, little pieces of paper, Berkshire Hathaway, they're claim checks on all kinds of goods and services in the world. They can buy anything. I can buy 400-foot yachts and have 20 homes and all that. I wouldn't be happier, but they can buy anything. And once they move into the
Right there, he's talking about doing work, doing. When is CVS coming back? Are you 31, sir? Dirty crow. Give me your age, sir. Don't lie. Baby Jesus is watching. Let's see what CVS has. Give us your age. Are you guys serious about that? That really, I mean, does that really bother you? Really? I mean, and I mean it seriously. I mean, you've been to the store, you've been there. You think they're going out of business? Now, there's reasons for it coming down. You can go research it. I know you're making fun of the other guy, man. But people do this to me on any stock that goes down. And I'm like, where do you want it to go? They'll be like, up. How many shares you got? They're like, 30. And then your big plan to get rich is that thing just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And somehow your 30 shares of Pfizer turn into $1 billion. I mean, how are you going to build them any higher if it just keeps going up? So we're still building out here, huh? You understand that concept, right? Now, that doesn't mean we want our stocks going out of business. You get what I'm saying? We're not fatalists, but these things move, man. And that's what I'm trying to show you here. This is a 1-minute chart. And they throttle my internet. Like, you're sucking too much bandwidth, Gerald. Oh, come on, man. You know, if you think about it, this guy over here probably got stopped out here. But then somebody else got in here on this little breakout and ran it up to here. And so all these things are, it just depends on where you're at when and what time frame. So, you know, and those guys that I was seeing complain today, and it's like, and I'm listening to them on this podcast, I'm like, none of you guys have even been in the market 7 years. You sound stupid. The best thing for you if you're 30, 35, 40 is these stocks to come down. Best thing for you. Look at this. But Gerald, it fell all the way to 85. Look at this. I mean, what good days, huh? Was it though? If you were up here, if you were buying this stage one and then this one, and then you bought this one, you're like, this guy's mean. He says to buy all the stage ones. And it goes down, and then it and goes past all the ones you bought over here that you were sad about. And that's how that game plays out, man. And part of the reason it'll move so violently is some people don't understand that. They're going to panic sell, algorithms, funds. There's all kinds of reasons to sell and to buy. And what you got to do is find your reason and find your time frame. That's your goal. And that's my goal, man. That's what we're both trying to do. Now, if you're trading, you got to put in some work, man. You got to practice this a lot. I'm getting throttled on my internet, so I guess I should wrap this up. We had such a good time there watching it happen live, and the uncertainty and the randomness of all of this. And yet somehow inside of that uncertainty and randomness, we got to try to find some sense to try to make order of it. For me, that's what this is. And so if I'm trading, I shrink my time frame. If I'm investing, I got to expand it. Investing's for life, man. I want to buy it. A good investment is something I buy, never fucking sell. It goes up. I never pay taxes on it, and it pays me money the rest of my life. That's called investing. Anything else is, I don't know. Let's see.